Yeah, I've got. Oops. Shit. That working? So they should only see a still image when it boots up, so that we can fuck about with it for a minute. How do I look at my own stream? No, because the tablet was dying. I needed to charge it. Uh, yeah. Dang it! How do I tell if I'm live or not? Uh, no, it's not showing me on my phone. Come on, you piece of shit. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to open it on the computer. Wait, hold on. Okay, according to this, we're live, and it's just showing the image, which is good. Although they can hear us, I think. Okay, so let's copy that. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Yep. With the actual. Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, I'll be good in no technical difficulties. Uh, right. Okay. 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 I think I'm ready now. Let's just go ahead and open that and that and go over to OBS. Right. And one day we will nail the intro. But until that day,
It's a
welcome.
refined
Okay.
process.
It's a refinement process. Okay,
Okay,
actually, I do need to get rid of something before we actually start this proper. Hold on, because I can hear myself talking, and it's very distracting. So, yes, audience, bear with me. And one day, intro.
Viewer beware, you're in for a scare.
No, that's the other podcast.
Oh, right. Right.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Again, one day. Oh, what's going on with my shirt? One day I'm gonna nail the intro. But in the meantime, welcome to the actual first episode of the Spur of the Moment podcast. We are live currently on YouTube. I am joined as always by my co-host, the incomparable Jordan. How are you today, Jordan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. And today we're gonna talk some news. We're gonna deliver book reports. Don't you worry, that's coming later. We're gonna go through. We're gonna talk about some GTA 6, which we talked about last week, but you all didn't hear because it was a failed first take. We're gonna talk about what happened at the Game Awards. We're gonna talk about some of the trailers that got released. I have some Deadpool 3 news that I want to talk about that will involve some light spoilers, but I really want to talk about how right I might be, and I need to do that. But before we jump into the news, we're gonna do something that we're not gonna do every week because obviously it's too much. But me and Jordan haven't talked about Doctor Who yet. I've spent the last like hour setting up this stupid podcast, and Jordan has been dying to talk about Doctor Who. So, without further ado, then we'll get into the rest of the show properly. Let's talk about Doctor Who for a bit, though. And it's going to be
Very,
spoilers.
very
There's going to be heavy duty spoilers if you have not seen The
heavy
Giggle yet.
spoilers.
It's on Disney Plus. Go watch The Giggle. Come back, okay? Or put this on mute in the background while if you want to hang out while we're live, and put it on the background. And then yeah, we're gonna talk about the giggle. So Jordan, I'm gonna let you talk about the giggle first. What were your thoughts on the giggle?
Uh, I mean, it's really, really good. Neil Patrick Harris does a stellar job as the toy
Oh
maker.
my
There,
god, he's
there's
so
there's
good.
moments in it where it's like he's scary, like he isn't
Legit.
intimidating. Like the Doctor just feels so out of his depth.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh man. Um, he does like three different accents: American, British, and German, and he does fantastic with all of them. Takes me a little bit out of it because I don't like Doctor Who and Neil Patrick Harris worlds collide, something I never really thought I'd see
Yeah.
together, but I don't dislike that they're together. It's just a weird thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
um it has okay, it has stuff in it near the end there which confuse me.
Yeah. Oh, we're
uh
gonna skip right to the end, or we wanna go through it.
No, we're gonna go through it. I
Okay.
wanted to preface this.
The ending is weird.
Um,
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Not
so
bad. I didn't hate
not not
it.
not bad
I
per
just
se.
it's
I
it's it's one of those concepts that I love it in concept. It's a neat idea, but in execution, it's like we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll
We'll
get
get
there.
there. We'll get there. We're jumping the
Yeah,
shark.
but there's some legit
Um,
upsetting and creepy shit in this. Like legit,
oh
I
yeah,
was
like
like the dolls were fucking creepy. Like they were
the
so
moment
unsettling.
where the doctor, again, spoilers, the moment where the doctor unwraps the dude and then like the strings come up and the toy maker standing over
Yes.
top and it's the marionette and oh my god,
And
that
he's
was
like, oh,
creepy.
and
That
he
was
turned
creepy
into
as fuck.
David Tennant. I was like, my god, I thought last week was all the creepy shit we were gonna get with David Tennant, but my god, it was. And
Oof.
and the little dolls that were going after Donna, oh, super creepy, so unsettling.
Oh my god. And so they bring back what I'm guessing. I mean, clearly it's a past companion. I don't know who she is.
Yeah,
But
Melanie.
the Melanie, the
Yeah,
red-haired girl,
yeah.
she's very obviously she was a former companion, but I
I
no idea. I'll have to go and look her up and see
I
which companion she was.
I want to say that she's either the shit fifth one, the one that's the
The
one
celery?
Celery, yeah, 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 the one that David Tennant's father-in-law.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think either that or the seventh one. I think, but I'm not 100%
Hmm.
sure, and I didn't have time to do research before this.
No, I'll have to go and
Um,
look that up after.
but I think yeah, because the special, the Jodie Whittaker special brought back, yeah, it was Sylvester McCoy and yeah, the seventh and sixth Doctor. They brought back two of their companions, and they got to come back. So I'm not sure. I don't. I do enjoy though the detail, and I was hoping it would come back full circle in this one, and it did. That Kate Lethbridge Stewart just takes care of the companions. Like I love that.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
love that. I love
yeah.
that. I love how she shows up. Yeah,
She
she. I
offers
needed a job. She gave me a job. Yeah, she offers Donna a job, and Donna's like,
offers John a
she's like,
job. Yeah,
done,
yeah.
done, no negotiation. You help the doctor, we'll help you. We'll take care of you. And I
You're
love
in. You're
that.
in. We're good.
That's
Yeah,
so
no, no,
that's
that was great.
so great. It was so much fun. Yeah, it was just overall it was very good. It was this what we were talking about
Um,
last week where it was like it didn't feel anniversary enough. This felt
this
anniversary enough.
this did
Yeah.
for sure. And so there's a lot of moments in it
So
that I love.
overall,
But
overall, okay. So the big spoiler, we're gonna talk about the regeneration, which is not obviously a huge. It's way more of a spoiler than I thought it was gonna be because obviously he's gonna regenerate. He's gonna become Chudigatwa. Who, as an aside, just real quick, I fucking love him. I love him so
I
much.
yeah, I really really
Oh my
like
god,
him.
I've never had taken
I
such a since David Tennant. I haven't taken such an immediate liking to a doctor.
Yeah, overall, I really like him.
Yeah.
I do think for me, it's going to take a little bit to get into the
Oh, it,
full
it
swing of
it
things,
always does. It always does. Absolutely.
but
So
the off the bat reaction was
okay,
he felt like the Doctor, which I
yes.
appreciate.
So by regeneration,
What the fuck is
what the
that?
fuck is that? What the fuck is
Like
like? So okay. So what is the? So
like
they're both the
I appreciate
doctor.
I appreciate that they like within the show they're like this has never happened.
Yeah,
So
we
like
don't exactly
it's
know. So they're not clones. Like they're not. He's not
no,
a
I
clone. He
it it
Chudigatwa is the 15th Doctor. He's the
it
guy
it
who.
seems it seems so okay. It unless I'm wrong
Yeah,
and
unless
I've
I've completely
completely
misread
under
this. Yeah.
but it feels like essentially what it's supposed to be or what the intention is so okay, again, full spoilers here. Toymaker shoots Doctor. Doctor is in the middle of regeneration, and then essentially both does and doesn't regenerate at the same moment.
Okay, so
Um, so this is so Judy got what's his name?
Chudigatwa.
Gawaka Judy Gawa.
Chudigatwa. Whoa, sorry. Chudigatwa. Chudigatwa.
Chewie Gatwa.
Chuti.
He Chuti Gatwa.
There you go. 15th Doctor.
Um,
It's easier that way.
15th Doctor. He is who the Doctor obviously is going to become. That is a fixed point. That is always going to happen. He is always, and so I think essentially what happened here is because the toy maker bends reality and makes things all weird and wonky. It essentially pulled him from the future into this moment.
But that's not what
And
it
so
looked like. It looked like they literally split off from being two separate people.
well, like, but to me, it looked like he split off from his future essentially. So, because he's like, I will become you, or you will become me. But you have to go off and heal first before you become me,
Well,
which implies,
that's where I'm
which
like,
implies that, which implies that David Tennant has to go off and live his entire life, live with Donna Noble, heal back up, and then he becomes this new Doctor
well, here's the thing. So,
and gets
did you
pulled back through in that moment.
did you watch it with subtitles on?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, did you notice how when they split off, the subtitles started calling him the 10th Doctor again?
I did notice that, and I
So
thought it was weird.
he the 10th Doctor again? Is that the idea? That he's now the 10th Doctor, and as the 10th Doctor, he. But what is that? So is he a separate, splintered off 10th Doctor? Because the 10th Doctor still has to go off and become obviously the 11th. Like they seem to imply that Judy Gott was the 15th Doctor. He was David Tennant. I mean the 14th Doctor. Like he was him, and now he's this guy. And the David Tennant that now exists is now another third David Tennant.
That's where I say I don't really
That's
understand it. It
where I'm getting
confuses me.
confused because she's like, "Oh, are you gonna hang around?" But he's still a Time Lord, so he's still gonna outlive. Is he still gonna regenerate? Is he still gonna what? Does he?
That's why my interpretation was that yeah, no, David Tennant goes off and lives the rest of his life, and then at the end of whenever he is meant to regenerate, like without the toy maker's influence, he becomes this 15th Doctor who then gets pulled back through into that moment.
See, I did not interpret that. I interpreted that because they say he says that, oh, I'm one being sharing a body basically. So I interpret it, and I really hope that maybe they're not gonna like this is a fresh, clean start, and like the David Tennant
I mean, this
Doctor
is
is clearly meant to represent the original Doctor, and he's a new Doctor, and it's supposed to be new, and that's the idea, but. Yeah, the question is, it seems to imply that yeah he was David. It seemed to imply to me that they were being pulled from the same body, that they're literally split. Like it's like similar to the Meta Crisis almost. That's what it kind of implied to me. I didn't get the notion that he was being pulled from the future. I didn't get that at all. But I also
well,
did have the thought. I'll
I
let you.
mean, that's the only way it makes sense to me.
Well, I mean, the Time Lord having biology that can split off into two people, it's Doctor Who. I could see it being a thing. My thing though, that it made me go, well then maybe that's his way of backing into to the timeless child stuff in the sense that maybe this is the Doctor who in the future will regenerate into um I forget what her name is. The fugitive Doctor. Maybe he's the one
Oh,
who
maybe.
regenerates. but then that would be kind of lame because then that would imply that only the Black Doctor can regenerate into the Black Doctor. And I don't love that. I like the fact that he can be anything, and that's kind.
Well,
I
I mean,
again,
the thing is now that they're separate, you could go either way. You could make this 15th Doctor is the one that blah blah blah, or you could make it where David Tennant turns into that version. Um, David Tennant, they have their cake and they can eat it too.
David Tennant can come
David T.
back.
Russell's David T. Russell's has
Russell T
left.
Davies.
I always mix it up. Um, has left David Tennant in this little, ironically, in a box.
Yeah.
He's got his own TARDIS. He's his own doctor. He still can go off and do whatever he wants, and he still exists in this world. They could have an episode where he shows up and teams up with the 15th Doctor.
Presumably, yeah. Well,
Like
what's interesting to me.
they didn't have him die at the end of it. He's still
No,
there.
David Tennant implied some sort of finality to what was going to happen with this doctor, and there really isn't. He could come back, he could
No,
not come back, he could do whatever he wants, and that's great for him. But it's also kind of like, why does David Tennant get like three separate versions of himself just out there? It has the same
three.
kind of energy.
I mean, you want to be pedantic. This would kind of be four because you have him, you have the one that's with Rose.
Yeah.
You have when he first came back as 14, and now if this is your interpretation, then this is supposed to be him regressing back into the 10th Doctor. Then that would technically make this four.
Well, they never, and they're not gonna. I doubt. I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe Russell T Davies will do something in the actual season where he they never explain why he looks like David Tennant. Not really. They're just kind of like she just kind of speculates and she's like maybe this is why, but they never confirm it. It wasn't the Celestial Toymaker who did it. There really isn't any reason for it. Other
No,
than I
not
guess
really.
to make the point that he's tired, but I don't know. I mean, again, I want to talk about the 15th Doctor though. I want to talk about how he's just loving. I love the love. I love how he hugged him. I love that this is the Doctor's version of healing. Like he's a
Um,
healed
I
doctor, and I love that. That's so good.
I I really like that he acknowledges past. Like he's like, I loved Amy Pond. I loved
Yes, he's the first
Rose.
Doctor.
I love all these other past things, and he's referencing it,
Yeah,
and like the Toymaker too, when he's talking about like, oh, and this is what happened to this character,
yeah,
Amy Pond. This is what happened to et cetera, et cetera. It's like, but they survived in this fashion, and this thing that makes it okay
yeah.
then.
I've justified it to
Um,
myself. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like there's so much in this that I love. So that's where it's like the bi transformation thing confuses the fuck out of me,
yeah,
but I'm willing to look past it because like there's so much else in this
yeah. It's
to really
weird.
like, and the fact that they near the like at the end there, um, the master is in that tooth, and you hear the drum beat, and you know that he's going to be coming back in some new form.
Absolutely. I'm curious. I'm curious as to which version of if they're gonna have a new master for Russell T Davies. Is he gonna bring back John Sims? Is it gonna be Sasha Dewan again? I'm really hoping for a new one. I want to see a new one. I want to see a
I
new guy.
What what I would love, and I said this in a previous theory or previous idea for some iteration of what I thought this was going to be, but I would love if that version of the master, this new version, whatever you want to call it, ends up being one of the Doctor's former's face, one of the
Yeah,
Doctor's previous's face,
I love
and
that.
if it was Matt Smith.
I love that idea, but that would involve getting one of them to come back for a major commitment, and I just don't know that you're gonna do that.
If
I
I could
would
only see,
love it.
I could only see of them all. The only one that I could see doing it is Matt Smith.
Yeah, I don't
I could
know.
see it.
Well, I mean, Jodie
I
Whittaker
could
has been
see it.
pretty like she will come back in a heartbeat if they ask her to. The rest of them have
Yeah,
been
but
odd.
it's too soon for her to
I
be
don't know.
for it to work with
I think
her.
she could be the master. That'd be kind of interesting.
You can't. No, you can't
Like
have
the
him take the face
Chibnall,
of her last
the
form.
Chibnall, the
No.
Chib. Technically, it's not his last form. It's two forms back.
Okay, you're being pedantic. Come on, man. You
And
know what I
I'm just
mean.
saying they could do it, and then that would definitely the Chibnall haters would love it because they'd be like, yeah, we don't like this version of the, and they've laid the ground for it with having the master be a woman before. Um, But I don't know.
It's not that her being a woman,
I
but
want someone new. I want someone new. That's who I
yeah.
want. I want someone new.
No, but for me, if they're gonna bring back, like, if they're gonna do that storyline, for me, the one that works the most is, and I don't know why. I guess because he's fun and he's like, he's got that energy
I,
of the
I get what
Doctor.
you're saying,
Is Matt Smith?
but that's what Sasha Dewan did. Sasha Dewan was basically evil Matt Smith. So I don't need
I
I don't
guess.
need Matt Smith to come back and do actual evil Matt Smith when we've already kind of done that. I kind of want to see something new. To be fair, I don't really necessarily want the Master to come back at all. I think he's kind of been played out, and he had a
No, but
logical finale at the end of
they're clearly setting up for
oh
that.
for sure. Well, they're like there's a bigger, badder boss that the toy, and I suspect maybe the toy maker might come back. I also suspect that this, I don't know. David Tennant was like, I'm done, but I don't know. It sort of seems to leave it open for both him and Donna to come back eventually, and for some
Maybe
big
for the
hurrah.
Christmas special.
As far as I know, the Christmas special is a pretty by the numbers. As far as I can tell, it's a pretty by the numbers. There wasn't a trailer for it, which was disappointing for me. But as near as I could tell, it's a pretty by the numbers Christmas special. And I don't mean that to be disparaging. I just mean it's a new Doctor Christmas special where he's wandering around unsure of who he is, and he runs into a new companion.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah,
And I'm looking forward to it. Like I say, I love his energy. He's
yeah,
so high energy in a way that's different.
yeah.
Like it's different than other, and it's fun, and it's yeah, I love
It's
him
happier.
him taking in David Tennant and being like it's okay is like I'm like
Yeah.
yes I'm stoked for this, and maybe it helps that it's on Disney Plus and it's more easily accessible this time around. I don't know, but I'm in every week. I'm gonna be watching this weekly, and maybe I don't know, maybe out the back of it we'll come back and we'll do a season recap.
That's yeah, yeah. That'd be fun.
Maybe we'll talk about the Christmas special on here. Maybe if there's something interesting to talk about.
We'll see.
I don't imagine there will be beyond me being like I fucking love him. He's so good. Beyond that, I don't know.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. He's adorable. That's how I would describe him. He's adorable. It's the first time a doctor has been adorable for me. I'm like, oh, I just want to keep him safe. I don't
He's
want anything bad to happen to him.
he's
He's so precious.
he's precious and innocent, and I have to
Yes,
protect him away from
I
the
want to
world.
protect him from all of the bad
And
alien
and
things.
and I kind of hope because I think this would work kind of well that his next companion is like a little harder, and he comes in like this doctor comes in and is all like, it's okay, and
Well,
like this new companion is like like is like our reaction with like, you're so innocent, I have to protect you from the
I
world.
mean, maybe his next companion is another blonde white woman, so Russell T Davies has a type. Um, but I don't know. I like I say I'm excited for the future of Doctor Who. Ultimately, I'm excited to see where this
I'm
goes. I'm excited for it.
I'm
It's gonna be
interested.
good. And like, hey man, one an argument could be made for pandering, but pandering is pandering for a reason, and it works. I've been successfully pandered to, so it
I mean,
works for
here's what
me.
I'll say.
Oh, I have one more
Here's what
point
I'll
before we
say.
wrap up.
Here,
Sorry, go on.
okay. Here's what I'll say is, um, the past two Doctors, I didn't love like when they were first introduced.
Yeah,
I wasn't like immediately like, oh my god, I'm down. This is
same.
like this guy brings the energy. He brings, I don't know what it is, like an infectious positive vibe, which in this dark time and age, I kind of think the world just needs.
Exactly, right? And like, um, sorry, I'm trying to flip between screens to keep this dynamic, and it's not working. Anyway, yeah, I really like his yeah, it's a really fun energy. And like I said at the beginning, not since David Tennant have I been this immediately smitten with the Doctor. I was so smitten
Yeah,
by him just immediately. Where he came out, he was super excited, super happy to be like Chudi Gatwa is very clearly very excited about this, and it's coming across in the performance. I think in the same way it did with
absolutely.
David Tennant, whereas like he is clearly a fan, and he knows that you have expectations, and so far he's met them for me. Like I knew I loved him. I knew I was going to love him from that little wink in the Adventure Space and Time clip. I was like that little
Yeah.
wink. I was like, I'm gonna love him. He's gonna be fun.
I was unsure because I didn't know much about him. I didn't really know what to expect going into this, but I'm hesitantly optimistic.
Yeah, I love him. He's on a show called Sex Education, which unfortunately we don't have Netflix anymore. So we're not gonna. I can't be like you should go watch it, but it's really good, and he's really good in it. And he's super elaborate and flamboyant and just super fun. He's a super fun actor, and I love him. But a thing I want to point out before we move on, that I thought was funny is um, everything that the giggle made people do, I was like, this is going to piss some people off. I was just like, this is going to make those kind of people angry because it's saying, it's making a statement about them and they're not going to like it. You're going to hear the W word a lot. And I said that at the back of the first one, but this one too. You're going to see the W word a lot and it's going to get fucking old.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah. With that having been said though, that was our big, probably, I don't know, how long have we been live here? I can actually see this time. No, apparently I can't actually see. I have no idea. But that was a while. We talked about Doctor Who for a while. Let's move on to the news. Let's get into the
We had a
news.
lot to say,
We had a
we
surprisingly
had a
lot to
lot to
say.
discuss.
Let's get into the news. Let's start off the news talking about some trailers, and we're gonna follow up from last week where we were talking about King Kong X Godzilla or Godzilla X Kong or whatever it's called. We were talking about how the trailer was gonna come out. We need to see a trailer. We saw a trailer. What did you think of the trailer, Jordan?
It's not a bad trailer, and it doesn't look like a bad movie per se. My one big thing as I watch it is why is Godzilla there? This doesn't feel like a monster that should be like Godzilla level threat. This feels like it's just a King Kong movie, like an individual, separate King Kong movie. He goes and fights against another, like another primate, another whatever you want to call,
Yeah.
for something that should be Godzilla level, it should be something like I believe I said this maybe off screen. I don't remember, or I said this last time, where um like if each of these creatures is supposed to be the height of their domain,
Mhm.
King Kong is the height of the primates or monkeys or
He's
whatever.
an apex predator.
Godzilla's Yeah, Godzilla's the apex predator of the lizards. Then you don't have, well, the thing that they have to team up against be another apex of primates. No, that doesn't make sense.
Well,
That kind of fight is King Kong goes against that to see who's the leader.
yes.
In his own movie, and a one where they're going up against together should be like the leader of the fish people,
Well,
for example.
I mean, I saw lots of fun suggestions for bad guys. I mean, Space Godzilla. I always went to Space Godzilla, but I also saw him point out Gigan. I mean, I'm a huge Gigan fan. I love Gigan, but there have been well, apparently in some of the artwork you do see that he's got like a Godzilla spine around his neck or something, and also apparently there is also a second bad guy that isn't in the trailer. It's I don't remember what its name
Okay.
is, but it's a big giant lizard thing, and it caused the ice age, and it's the reason supposedly why Ghidorah was frozen, and it won the last war basically, and it's been in hibernation, and it's woken up, and so that big hero shot that they put at the end of the trailer, which so many people hated. And they all hated it for the wrong reasons. I'll explain why in a second. I refrained from making a TikTok video about this just so I could do this on the podcast. But
Yeah.
um, um, the hero shot at the end of that trailer is weird, right? There's no way about it. There's no way around it. It's a weird moment. Not for Godzilla. Everyone's like Godzilla wouldn't do that, and then you have a bunch of other videos which are all people being like, "No, Godzilla would do that." Here's this clip of him soaring through the air by his tail. Here's the funny jump. Like, yes, those moments exist. What's weird for this is it's weird for this Godzilla. This Godzilla hasn't really had a weird hero shot like that. Like it's not
No.
I don't feel it's in character for that for that version of Godzilla. For Godzilla generally, yes, but for that version of Godzilla. But supposedly that shot is them running against this other bad guy, and I guess Scar King are teaming up, or they're some form. But basically, supposedly, there's two bad guys in this, which kind of makes sense. The last one hid
Okay.
Mechagodzilla, so
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
makes sense because then that would explain. Because yeah, no, this Scar King feels like a just a King Kong guy, but if he's teamed up with another guy, then that makes it make a little more sense. Especially if it's
exactly.
another lizard, then okay, each of each like the King Kong is the apex going against
Hmm.
the apex. Godzilla is the apex of his going against the apex. That then like there's a symmetry there, and it makes a
Exactly.
little more sense at that point.
Like it's funny.
Um,
Sorry, you go ahead.
um, I still think that to have Lizard and Lizard versus 8 and 8 is a little bit not lazy, but like
Yeah,
you could have had it be two different things, like not an ape and not a lizard,
yeah.
like
Well,
a
uh,
shark and like something. I think I said insect last time.
yes, you did. Yes,
Bug person,
yes.
praying mantis.
The thing about these movies is behind the scenes stuff. What I know is after the last one, there was more of a desire and intention to sort of move King Kong away from Godzilla, which is probably why this feels more King Kong heavy because it probably was at one point. And then the idea was this universe would more feature King Kong because he has a son in the trailer, and the rumor was the son was at one point going to be older, and it was going to be like a passing of the torch kind of thing. And
Wait,
then sorry, I was gonna say that the last one, King Kong versus Godzilla, made a shit ton of money, and Godzilla minus one has also made a shit ton of money. So they sort of realized that no, Godzilla also needs to be there in order for these things to make money, and so I guess the direction probably changed. If I had to speculate,
I mean that makes sense, but let's go back for a second. You're talking the little ape that shows up in the trailer.
yes.
Oh, interesting. I thought that was supposed to be the evil monkey's son.
I don't know if it's gonna be a thing where it winds up being like Godzilla. I don't know if it's like they're genetically son, but because like with Son of Godzilla, that's not actually Godzilla's biological son. It's like a adopted thing. So I think it might be like an adopted. He takes him on as like a charge kind of thing. Because King
No,
Kong, they've set him up to be like he's got a metal arm and he's got an axe. So I think it's gonna be a thing of maybe you're right. Maybe biologically he's Scar King's son. Because I could see why you would say that because of his color, right?
yeah, well, his color and he looks like the same kind of ape as Star King.
Yeah. So I could see it's a thing of
Um,
like he
as
takes him
for
under his
the
wing.
as for the metal arm and the axe, what I think happens there is this is my film theory, if you will. Is um he shows up and King Kong tries to go and fight him on his own. King Kong loses, and that's where he loses the arm. And then his human, because he had a human friend, didn't he? Or
Yeah.
the human people that like him. So
Yeah.
the humans then retrofit him with the metal hand and the axe, and him and King Kong go down to fight Scar King, and maybe they're in the middle of fighting Scar King, and they went like while fighting Scar King, because it looks like like the Scar King exists in that place that's like in the center of the earth where all
Yeah.
the other things are.
Yeah. We're going
Um,
big in on
so
that.
so while fighting Scar King, I suspect my theory is they will accidentally wake up this other monster that caused the Ice Age before. And then Scar King's son, the little ape, will essentially go to Scar King and be like, Papa, you have to team up with them so you can defeat the big thing. Um,
Oh,
and then and then
interesting.
and then the three of them will team up to defeat the big evil Ice Age monster that will wants to destroy everything.
See, I that's not what I heard. I heard it was a thing of very much. I again with the sun. I haven't heard much about the sun because I'm just not interested in that. But from what I've heard about Scar, it sounds like it's a very much a Scar King and this other third thing, other bad guy work like they team up. It's like King Kong and Godzilla versus that. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
I'm just that's just a theory, crazy
Yeah.
theory, just going off of what I saw in the trailer of what it could go like.
It's just funny because you can very much delineate all the people who have seen Godzilla movies and all the people who have not seen Godzilla movies because, like, yeah, very much. Again, having not seen it, fingers crossed, hoping to see it tomorrow. Um, the horror Godzilla is a scary thing. It's one type of Godzilla movie, but he's a bright, colorful pink thing, and he punches a monster is also a kind of Godzilla movie, and they're both fun.
And he's a hero, and he's
Yeah,
a hero in
there's
this one.
well, I mean, there's so many where he's very deliberately a hero. Like there's a lot where
Yeah,
he's very
yeah,
deliberately a hero. The ones we loved as
yeah.
kids, he was very deliberately a hero
He's kind of like a wrestler where he's been both a heel and
and a
a
face. Yeah,
hero.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been a baby face and a heel. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, yeah. So moving on, let's talk about the GTA 6, the GTA 6 trailer. What did you think about that?
Um, it's very pretty looking.
Super pretty.
I've seen so I don't know if it's real or not, so I'm gonna pretend that it is, but I saw what I think is the map
Oh, interesting.
was leaked. And again, assuming it's real, it looks to be like at least double the size of GTA 5,
Interesting.
which doesn't maybe even a little bit bigger, but which doesn't inherently surprise me because it's next gen. So and it's taken them like what 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 years to come out since the last one, so they've had a lot of time to
Yeah,
work on it.
I
Um, and I don't mind if it takes longer if it means that it's going to be a phenomenal game.
yeah,
I
yeah.
will say,
Take the time.
the yeah, we'll take the time, make a good, not just game, movie, television show,
Yeah.
whatever have you. Take the time, make it well, do it right. That's my opinion. But I'm getting a real Bonnie and Clyde vibe, which I really like.
I love that. That's so much fun.
It it looks like a good time.
People are like, well, there was people were, I mean, those kind of people were like, yeah, I have to play as a woman, and I'm like, pound salt, like, just shut up. Like, it looks fun, and
I mean,
I don't know, it's like, even if it's like the case of the trailer gives me the impression that it's once again a swap thing, like you play as two separate
yeah,
characters, but
yeah,
even if it's just I just play as a woman, that's different. Like we've had with
yeah.
this Grand Theft Auto 6, not including spinoffs. Every other one you play as a dude. Like I always joke that I'm only okay with a female protagonist in GTA as long as there is male prostitutes and I can beat them up and take their money. It's the only way. Only way I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm okay with it otherwise, but I want to beat up some male prostitutes and take their money. Like I think it's only
Uh,
right and it's only fair.
I mean, you're not wrong. Equality, right? You know, you gotta.
Please don't clip that out of context, please. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't clip that out of context. Please don't do that.
um, Plus, I mean, as a gamer, I mean, I don't get it. I enjoy looking at the female form. Who doesn't like staring at an ass all day?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Look
I
at
like,
this.
I'm just saying,
Especially a well
a well-rounded character.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, overall, I really enjoy that it's incorporating. I'm gonna move on from that. I enjoy that they're incorporating Florida into it. Like it's got a real
Oh
Florida man
yeah,
feel to it, and I'm like, I love the fact that there's the swamps, the Florida swamps that they're utilizing. If I can't steal a
yeah.
fan boat, I'm going to be pissed. Like I want to
Oh,
steal a fucking fan boat so bad.
that's got to be a thing, right? Like that's got to be a
It's
thing. There's
gotta
no
be
way
a
it's not
thing.
going to be.
There's no way
There's
it's
no
not
way
gonna
it's not
be.
going to be.
There's no way.
Um, um, no, yeah, absolutely. There's people who have actually um there's videos and stuff where they're comparing the trailer to real life videos from Florida, and they're like, no, yeah, no, they've nailed it. They've got the state
That's
down.
so
It's like
awesome. I want to kill an
it's
alligator.
it's
I want to be able to kill an alligator or get killed by an alligator like that.
um
Oh, it looks fun. It looks like a fun
it
game.
does.
I mean, for a GTA
I'm
game,
down.
I mean, it looks fun.
I'm down. And plus,
Yeah.
with going back to the Bonnie and Clyde thing, um, that was one of the, and clearly they recognized this. Um, that was what made GTA 5 so successful is sure Franklin was a fun character, but the two characters that really sold it were Michael and Trevor. And
Yeah.
that's because they were so opposite and so like their play style was
Hmm.
different, the way they felt when you were them, like everything. And so clearly they were like, we don't need, and maybe there will be a third
And they're like, we
character
don't
that
need
they're
a
just
third
not
character.
showing us.
Cut out
But
Franklin.
I mean, it kind of comes across that
Well,
way where they were like,
we talked about this last week in our uncut in our cut segment that got cut, but they might be in it.
you did mention that, and I mean, they'll probably, it's probably just like an Easter egg or something, or like where they
Maybe,
show up. But
maybe.
like, I doubt you'll play as them. But
No, 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 no.
what I'm kind of hoping that they do or that they've done, that would be fun is if there's a secret third character who is like a Miami Vice cop
I mean, we've
character.
always said we wanted to play as a cop. Like I want
That well, to
GTA
me
where you play as
that's
a cop. That's what I've always wanted. I think it would
to
be
me
fun.
that's the logical progression for this series is they make you play as a cop who's either chasing the other two or who's dirty, and you
Yeah,
play as a dirty cop.
I don't.
Especially if you're going to like if you're going to Florida where they're nuts down there,
Yeah,
like it just
I don't think
feels
that's
like
gonna happen though. I really don't. I just
I
it's just one of those
man can
things where
dream.
if they were gonna do it, it'd be a prominent feature I think of the marketing if they were gonna do that. But going back to the Michael and
Yes
Franklin
and
coming
no. I
back.
mean, if you're trying to sneak it under the radar, the way you do it to
Yeah.
me is by just setting it up as a Bonnie and Clyde thing.
They wouldn't be trying to sneak under the radar though. That would be that at least I don't imagine they would. That would very much be like a they tell you that this was going to be a new because that would change the dynamic of GTA for like if they were going to do that he'd have to be his own character. I wouldn't want to do a swap thing. I want them to dedicate the story to him or her. But no, what I'd like if they are in it, Michael and not Michael, Michael and
Trevor.
Franklin, not Trevor, because the guy who who plays Trevor hates being associated with that character, which like, hey, fair enough. Um, but no, Franklin and Michael. I mean, if they're like you start off as like smash and grabbers, and they're like mentor figures, and they're like helping you set up like heists and shit. Like they're basically the really annoying one from the last one.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
but basically
Can't
him.
remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either. But basically him. Because yeah, I saw a video where they were like, yeah, we recorded stuff. So I don't know if that was a lie or if they were joking or what the deal was. But yeah, supposedly yeah,
Could
they seem to be indicating they're in it.
could be that they're in it not for the main game itself, but for what will inevitably be the GTA 6 version of online. Because
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I know for the GTA 5 online Franklin, there was a whole Franklin
Yeah,
storyline.
him and Michael both came back. They both came back to
Oh,
play
did
Franklin.
Michael as well?
I think Michael
I
did
didn't
as
know
well. Yeah,
that.
yeah. I
So
definitely know Franklin did.
I could see it being a thing where like there's a GTA 6 online story pack or something where they're featured like they are down there for some reason or something.
Yeah, I
I
mean
could